It was a winter morning in a small town nestled between gray hills and quiet roads. A layer of fog had settled over the sleepy streets where only a few souls wandered, most of them wrapped in coats too thin for the bitter cold. The smell of smoke from distant chimneys floated through the air, blending with the scent of damp earth and silence. Among those early wanderers was an old woman, hunched and fragile, wrapped in a tattered shawl that had lost all color. With time her name was Amma. She wasn't anyone's mother by blood, but that's what the neighborhood children had called her for years. Amma carried no bag, had no home, and her footsteps were slow, as if each step took part of her remaining strength. She walked toward the marketplace, not to buy anything for she had no money, but because there was always a chance someone might give her the crust of something left over. Sometimes a fruit vendor would quietly hand her an apple, sometimes a child would smile and slip her a biscuit. Most days, though, Amma returned empty-handed, her stomach as hollow as her fading memories. This morning Amma's steps wobbled more than usual, her lips were pale, her hands trembling, and her eyes barely open. Still she walked, stopping near the bakery where the scent of freshly baked bread warmed the street. Her eyes locked on the golden loaf stacked behind the glass, her breath fogged the window as she leaned closer and then gently knocked. The young man inside, Rafi, looked up surprised. He was cleaning the counter, getting ready for the morning rush. Rafi was known for his silence. He rarely spoke but always worked with focus and quiet care. He opened the door to find Amma shivering, her eyes not meeting his. She didn't ask loudly, didn't beg the way some did. She only whispered, almost like a prayer, "Just one bread, please." Rafi looked at her for a long second. He didn't know what to say. The bakery had strict rules: no giving away stock without payment. The owner had warned him again and again. Still something in Amma's whisper, something so soft and defeated, made him pause. He went inside, picked the smallest bun and quietly handed it to her. Amma looked at it as if he had given her the world. Her lips trembled. She took the bread in both hands, cradling it, and then whispered again, "Bless you, child." She turned and walked away, disappearing down the alley where she usually sat and ate, slowly savoring each bite as though it was a feast. Rafi stood watching her go, his heart strangely heavy, but he didn't know what would follow in the days to come. The next morning Amma returned. She didn't knock, just stood there staring through the glass. This time Rafi had saved a bun from the early batch. Again, without telling the owner, he handed it to her wordlessly. Amma smiled and her eyes looked less tired. This became their silent ritual. Each morning Amma came, said nothing, and Rafi gave her a bun, just one, and always quietly. After a week Rafi tried to ask her name, but Amma only smiled and said, "What's in a name, child? You're kind and I'm grateful, let that be enough." Time passed, and then one morning Amma didn't come. Rafi waited all day. His eyes glanced out the window every few minutes, but no sign of the old woman. Days turned to weeks and the absence started to ache more than expected. Even the customers noticed the empty spot near the bakery where she used to stand. One day Rafi took a different route home, and by the side of a small alley he saw a boy sitting on the ground, a bag beside him. His clothes were dirty, his face tired. Rafi approached and the boy looked up surprised. "You're the one who gave Amma bread every day," he said softly. Rafi blinked and nodded. The boy stood up straight. "Amma was my grandmother. We had no one else, just each other. She told me about you, said you were an angel in disguise." Rafi didn't know what to say. The boy opened his bag and handed Rafi a folded piece of cloth. Inside was a letter written in Amma's shaky handwriting. "If you are reading this, it means I am no longer standing by your bakery window, but don't be sad, child. You fed me with kindness, not just bread, when I had nothing, and knowing your small act reminded me I was still human, still seen, still worthy. I had no gold to give you, no property or wealth, but I have one thing, my grandson. He is kind and clever and just needs someone to believe in him. I leave him in your care, not as a burden but as a blessing. Guide him as you guided me, without words, with love." Rafi read the letter twice. His throat tightened and his eyes welled up. The boy looked down, unsure of what to expect, but Rafi smiled a soft, quiet smile and placed his hand on the boy's shoulder. "Come," he said, "let's eat first. You must be hungry." And so the boy started coming to the bakery every day, not to beg but to learn. Rafi taught him how to knead the dough, how to clean the counters, how to handle customers. The boy listened and learned quickly, always working with silent dedication, just like his grandmother watched with silent gratitude. As weeks turned to months, the bakery began to change, not just in how it looked but how it felt. Customers came not just for bread but for the warmth, the feeling of something human in every corner, and the story of Amma spread quietly, one whisper at a time. Someone who gave nothing but reminded the world that a little kindness can outlast even life itself. One day a journalist visited the town. She had heard about a bakery that gave more than food, that served kindness along with its loaves. She interviewed Rafi and the boy, who was now confident, polite, and smiling. She asked about Amma, and Rafi told her everything quietly, just as Amma had spoken softly all those mornings. The story went viral. People from cities far away sent letters and gifts, not to the bakery but for the memory of Amma. Donations poured in, enough to open a shelter, a small home for the elderly where Amma's name was carved in stone. Amma House it was called, and at its entrance hung a sign with a single line, "Just one bread, please." People cried when they visited. Some left flowers, some just sat in silence, but all of them remembered Amma's whisper and Rafi's quiet kindness. Years passed. Rafi grew older and the boy became a man. He took over the bakery, turned it into something more than a shop. It became a community place, a home for lost souls, a shelter during storms. A picture of Amma hung on the wall above the counter, not in sadness but in strength. And whenever someone asked who was she, the man would smile and say she was the one who reminded us all that a whisper can echo across the world if someone chooses to listen. So the next time you pass someone on the street asking for just one small kindness, don't turn away. You never know what chain of love and change your small act might begin. Thank you for watching this heartwarming story.